Hey everyone, I'm Adnan Al Ali. In case you didn't know, today I'm going to be ranking all the characters I knew from Manuel's top 100 character contest. Now, I've been a fan of character contests ever since I've got into the Samdan community. So I've decided that it will be a perfect idea to create a tier list for all of the characters featuring that from the ones I know. Yeah, so basically, I don't know most of these characters, so some of these characters, so I'll just use the ones I knew from ones I know, and then put them into a tier list from S to F. And keep in mind, this is all my opinion, so if you disagree, that's fine. Anyways, with all that said, let's get started. So first we have Anishma. Sorry, don't know how to pronounce her name. That's because she's one of the forgettable characters in Thomas and Friends. Sorry. I'd put her in C tier. She's okay. I don't remember much of her. Next up are the Bananas in Pajamas. I think I remember that show ever since I was 8, and it's a pretty good show. I like their dynamics, so yeah, it's gonna be in B tier. Okay, now next up we have Bandit Healer, and I know I've been a fan of Bluey. I know I haven't been a fan of Bluey from the start, but the more I've watched it, the more I kinda like it. And Bandit is one of the funniest characters from the show, I'd say. I'd say he gets an S tier. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. Barney, again, I don't really like the show when I was a kid or when I got into the community. I thought it was creepy, but I've started to warm up with it quite a bit. So, yeah, Barney is going in B tier. Next up is Bart Simpson, and he's pretty infamous for being Connor Dooley's #1 least favorite character from quite a while, starting from his 800 BTNL. Me, personally, I've always liked him from the get-go. I thought he was Satan in a child's body, as people assume, so yeah, he's getting an A tier as well. Benson, I don't know what to think of Benson. He's extremely funny with his quotes firing Rigby and Mordecai. So yeah, I'm going to give him an high B. That's the best I could do. Bliss. Now this character is really overhated. Like, I just don't see what the hate is. He's one of the normal characters from the PPG 2016 reboot and doesn't rely on cringe humor. Technically, people still accuse her for being an OC, but I just don't see it. So I'm gonna give her a B tier as well. Bruno is an underrated character from Thomas and Friends. All Engines Go is bad per se, but I always sympathize with Bruno being an autistic character, so I'll put him in A tier. Brian Griffin, again, like Barney, he's also a hated character when I joined the Samdan community, and I always liked him, so I'll give him an A tier too. Charlie, okay, there are 3 Charlies, so I'm just gonna rank them. Charlie from Thomas and Friends, he's annoying. Like, I actively confuse him with Ferdinand, cause since they're both purple, they're both from the same franchise, but yeah, D tier. Charlie from Smiling Friends, even though I prefer Pim per se, Charlie is still a really good character, and probably funny too. I'd be happy enough to give him a low S. That's what I say. Speaking of S, Charlie, yeah, you'll know where Charlie's gonna go. She's hot. I like her dynamic. So yeah, she's going S tier for sure. Cody. Now, I used to like Cody when I joined SML, but how did they come up so badly? Like, Cody is just his only joke is being a horny kid now. That's basically it. I'd give him a high D tier. That's the best I could do. Cool Cat, boy, I wonder where he's gonna go. He's gonna go in F tier. Like, he's just extremely cringe to listen to all the way through. Dan, yeah, I kind of like Dan. Not as much as, say, Sean, but he's pretty good. I like his dynamics with Chris, and yeah, Davy Stone. Since since I'm going to watch 8 Crazy Nights for like the Christmas special, I'm gonna assume and what I think of Davy nowadays, and he's pretty good. I like I like him. I don't know why he's so hated, but the times I see him on screen, he's extremely funny. Yeah, Dora and Diego. Yeah, I'm going to put them in eight A tier, just behind Bruno. I grew up with the show, and they're both extremely endearing to see on screen. So yeah, Do It from Will and Do It. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in B tier. I don't know why. I find him really engaging, and he has a unique gimmick in the show where he changes voice lines every time he speaks. I don't know, that might just be me. Ed is comedy gold, man. He's an S tier. Like, he's extremely goofy and funny, and I like his dynamic with the other Eds. Eleven, I mean, I grew up with the show, but I don't remember much out of him since he basically has no personality. So, I think C tier is fair for him. Alright, now we got two Emilys. One from Disventure Camp and the other from Has Been Hotel. Emily from Disventure Camp is kinda mid, not gonna lie. I don't know why she replaced Crystal from the previous show, and she's not that really interesting to begin with. As for the same name from Has Been Hotel, yeah, she's also getting an S tier. Do I need to explain it? Fiore, she's my favorite character in Disventure Camp. You can't convince me otherwise. She's basically Heather if she was a child. And I like her friendships with the others turned enemies, rivalries or something. George Pig is getting a B tier. No, he's above Davy, above Bliss. No, below. I'd say this is a good spot for him. George Pig is just a charming character. I don't know why, but he's better than Peppa Pig. I don't really have much to say. Gloria, yeah, she's A tier. She's from Big City Greens, and I like her being basically the neighbor of the Greens. Gordon, okay, Gordon is probably the only S tier character from Thomas and Friends. Yeah, I said it. He's extremely fun to watch from start to finish. Anyways, now we have Hazel Wells. Me personally, I don't like that they replaced Timmy Turner from the Fairly Odd Parents reboot, but nowadays, she's really good, not gonna lie. I'm gonna put her in B tier. Again, it's another Bliss situation where she's basically an OC, but she's she's an OC done right. Now for Handy from Happy Tree Friends. One of the less interesting Happy Tree Friends characters since I watched it in my childhood, but even then, I'd put him in B tier. He's a really good and funny character, despite having no hands. Horrid Henry, boy, Horrid Henry is an S tier. Yeah, a really dynamic character. But he's basically a troublemaker like Bart Simpson, but unlike him, he's basically what do I call it? He's basically a really fun character to watch, and I feel bad for him getting abused by his parents, Delightful Desiree and Silly Simon. For Isabel from Disventure Camp, top of A tier. He's basically Sean Parnell's girl, if I like to call it that. Just don't cancel me. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. You know why she's in the top half. Jay from Darman. Somewhere in the bad zone. D tier. Like, Jay is one of the is one of the most trouble characters in Darman, and I have no pleasure putting him here. Yeah. Jeffy, I used to absolutely despise him, but the more time passes, the more I kind of like him. He's obviously going to be in the bottom of B tier, but he's not that bad by a smidge. June Bailey is pretty boring. She's basically from Wonder Park. She's the main protagonist there, and I barely got anything out of her. She's the most nothing burger character in the show. Junior, F tier. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the people who like him. He's just really bratty and really obnoxious to get through. He bosses Chef PP. What do I even say? King DDD. I'm put him in the bottom of A tier. I've always loved King DDD since he's basically Kirby's arch rival. Yeah, he's a really cool character. Kipper is getting a B tier. I like Kipper. It's one of my childhood shows, like with Bananas in Pajamas, and I haven't watched it since, but it's still a really good show though. Kitty KO, another nothing character, so I'd put her in C tier. Better than Emily because at least she doesn't do anything mean, which is another problem I have with Emily as a whole. Coco from Chuckington. Honestly, this may be a hot take. I'll put Coco in B tier. Right next to Bananas in Pajamas and Do It. I don't know why. I never found Coco annoying. And his friend, and I like his dynamic with Brewster and Wilson. So next up we have Leo from Caillou. Yep, he's going in D tier. Like, hold on, where again? Yeah, this spot is good. He's one of Caillou's friends and is also a brat. Lincoln Loud, he used to be really high, like in S tier, but unfortunately I had to dock him down because of that god-awful Christmas special. You know, the one that came this year. Lincoln Loud is still charming. I like his role as being the main character, but that Christmas special, man. Link from Vester and Friends, I'd say I give him a D tier. He's so annoying in this. In fact, I watched an episode of Vester and Friends this very month, and from what I can gather, he's the reason why Blue Yoshi broke up with Isabelle. Man. Little Bill is also getting a D tier because he's based off of Bill Cosby. You know how that guy turned out to be. Logan from Disventure Camp is C tier. Boring. Maggie Pesky, I'll give her an A tier. People used to hate her back in the day since she was a jerk, but I don't know, man. She's a heroic jerk. Not much to comment, however. Max from Max and Ruby, I like him. I'll put him in B tier. Pretty good. I don't know why. He's pretty much a troublesome character, kind of like Horrid Henry, but he's also a pretty endearing character to watch, like her sister. Now we have Millie. I'll put her in the A tier, right next to Isabel and Lincoln. I actually find her dynamic with Moxie pretty good, and you know what? I'm gonna move Moxie in A tier too. I liked both of them. They're both cute to get to, and yeah, you probably know why they're here at this point. Milo, me personally, I always thought Milo was a bit overrated from the start, but even then, I'd put him in C tier. Like, he's average. Goodman. Good God. F tier. Worse than Junior. Like, he always interferes with Mario or Marvin's in his house, and he's comments on nipples. Like, what? Is this like nipples aren't something to joke about, Goodman. And he's always such a rich brat, too. Mr. Cat, D tier. Ever since Millie Burtonberger adopted Mr. Cat, he's basically become such an aggravating villain. And he always gets Coop into trouble, and Bert always grounds him for no reason. Norbert, hold on, he's actually kind of fire. I'll put him in B tier. I always kind of find Norbert funny in all Cars Life movies he's in, even the first one. Parsley, yeah, she's Parsley. What did you expect? I'll put her in A tier. She's a really good character from High Guardian Spice. And next up is Peppa Pig. Probably a mid character. Yeah, not gonna lie. Alright, I don't have much to say, so moving on. Perfect Peter. What do you want me to say? Pink from Unit. I'd say she's a really good character. I'd put her in A tier. Yeah. No comment. Pocoyo. Again, another childhood character, but I can't in good conscience rank him any higher. So I'll put him in the bottom of A tiers by far. Still really good character. I find him cute and I never hated him once, like any other character, any other person does. Ragatha, yeah, I think she's in the bottom of S tier by far. She's really good for what she does. And then basically emotional support for Pomni. Rigby. Yep. He's peak. I'll put him in the top of A tier. If you watch regular show so many times, you probably get what I mean. Rhea. Yeah, Rhea is a pretty shit villain. I'll put her in D tier. She basically has no right to win All Stars, like at all. Roba. I'd say F tier. Yeah, top of F tier because he's at least harmless unlike those people, but let's not pretend like that's an achievement. Robot Default. Yeah, Robot's a pretty good character, all things considered. I sympathize with him every time he gets bullied by Gart. And yeah, he's a really good character. Roger Smith. I haven't watched American Dad from a while, but I'm sorry, but from what I can gather, he's a... Wait, hold on. Yeah, D tier's fair for him. I'm sorry, he's just not really that good. Rosemary, don't hate me for putting her where she is, but she's actually a B tier. I find her arc about her mom pretty endearing, and yeah. Now for Scoop, another character I've had flashbacks with, so I'll put him in A tier. Yep, he's a pretty good character from Bob the Builder, even though I prefer Lofty and Bob himself. I mean, what do you want me to say? Slime Boy, weakest of the High Guardian Spice characters, the three of them, but even then, he's still pretty good for what he does, so I'll put him in B tier. Yeah. Spencer, I don't like him as much as anyone else does, but even then, he's still good for what he does, so I'll put him in the bottom of B tier. SpongeBob is in S, we can all agree on that, and Squidward is even better. In fact, these two are probably my favorite characters, tied with Toad, Mario, and Number 3. Now we have Star Butterfly. Obviously, she's getting S tier. There's literally no doubt in that. She's extremely adorable and cute. Okay, next up we have who? The father of Butterscotch. I don't know his name. I kind of forgot. He's pretty bad. He's a bad father. So I'll go put him in D tier as well. Strawberry Shortcake. I like her enough, so she's getting a B tier. Sunset Shimmer. She's also pretty good, so but not as good as the others, so I'll give her A tier. Tess. Yeah, Tess is one of the best characters in this Venture Camp. Not as good as Fior, but still S tier. And we have the same name from Little People. Yeah, she's basically C tier, bottom. I did not give a shit about her. Verisoka. She's basically Davy's favorite character at the moment, and I'd give her an A tier. Not as good as these guys, but still, just yeah, pretty good. Vincent is pretty bad. Yeah, I did not care about Vincent whatsoever throughout Milo. I never cared about Milo to begin with, so I'll put him in D tier. Vox, spoilers for Hazbin Hotel 2, but I really love Vox. He's such an interesting character to watch through, so I'll go put him in A tier, below Brian Griffin. Willow Park, yep, top of A tier it is. One of the best characters in the Owl House for sure. Wubsy, yeah, Wubsy's a really good character to watch, so I'll go put him in A tier. Yumi Yoshimura, yeah, Yumi's going in A tier. I love him too. I love her too. Actually, below Maggie. Now we have Yuri from My Big Big Friend, and I think I'll go put him in the top of B tier. I only started watching My Big Big Friend recently, and it's a really good show, and Yuri's no exception. And finally, we have Z from the Total Drama reboot, and I don't love him as much as anyone else, but he's still really good, so I'll give him an A tier. And that's my tier list from S to F. So I hope you agreed with me on this list. If not, I respect your opinion. Anyways, I hope you have a nice day. Until next time. Oh wait, that's just season 1. Season 2 will come in after Manuel releases the full season next year, or when season 1 finishes. Anyways, see you later. Until next time. Oh, and Merry Christmas.